Checking to see the live stream.
And two.
Oh, yes, it is live. We are so live. We are the livest we may have ever been right now. I don't know if we've ever been liver than this before, you guys. This is optimum liveness right now, coming at you here on the Shacknews Twitch channel. I'm Blake Morse, your reviews editor, and today I am very excited because we have some very special guests. But before we introduce them, let me introduce you to the Shacknews crew that is joining me today. Holding things up on the news side of things usually, but today he's gonna be a stone cold killer. It's the one and only TJ Denzer. How you doing, TJ?
Whoa, I'm a pacifist, but not really. Actually, I just finished. Yeah, I'm fine. I'll just say I'm fine.
You just finished playing Streets of Rage.
I didn't want to rep another game on the Bleeding Edge stream.
Well, you know, yeah, that's fair enough. But you're gonna translate that rage into this game now, into Bleeding Edge. Yeah, you're gonna take everything that's built up inside you, and we're gonna go in here. Also joining me on the ones and twos, we've got my main man, not from Amsterdam, Joshua Hawkins. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me. Hope everyone out there's doing good.
Thanks for being here. I'm happy you could join us today, and of course, last but not least, who could forget the man with the briefcase, Chief Puppy Wrangler, Editor-in-Chief and CEO of Shacknews, Asif Khan.
Hey there, everybody. Nice to be playing video games and staying at home.
Yes, and joining us from Ninja Theory, we have got Ronnie Tucker, the creative director on Bleeding Edge. How you doing, Ronnie?
Hi everyone. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're more than happy to have you. Thanks for joining us. I don't know what time it is now in the UK, but
it's 6 p.m.
6 p.m. All right. Well, yep. I appreciate you spending your evening with us then.
No worries. Workday's done. Time to get on with some gaming.
All right. Excellent. And then last, but of course not least, Gerald Poon, the senior designer of Bleeding Edge. How you doing, Gerald?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Hello, everyone.
And of course, thank you to you as well for also spending your evening. I hope
not a problem.
Hopefully
Happy
you,
to do it.
Yeah, hopefully you guys have like a glass of wine or something. So the way today's gonna work is you guys are gonna be playing. You guys are gonna be kind of swapping in and out playing the game with us. And you're also gonna be answering questions from our team and also from our viewers. So guys, if you're in there, if you're watching the show, if you're interested in Bleeding Edge and you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Of course, be polite, be courteous. These are our guests. If we decide you're being a douchebag, we will do whatever we deem is necessary as moderators or what have you. So, welcome to the party. Let's get going. You guys ready to play?
Ready.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So Gerald, you're gonna play with us first, right? So.
That's right. Yes.
So yep. I hope you're ready to carry this team.
I'll do my best.
No, honestly, we didn't do too bad the last time we all played together.
Okay. Yeah.
It might be a little rusty, but we'll see.
It's okay. Yeah. We'll just feel it out. We'll see how we go.
Yeah, I think we're gonna take it. To the streets.
And I think this game is just really about communicating with your team and staying together. That's what I found a lot of the time. So we did that as a team last stream. I think we succeeded, Blake.
Yeah, I feel like it's the stand by me of games in a lot of ways because you really got to stand by each other physically in the game. Like you can't. This is a game you cannot really go off on your own. Everybody's abilities kind of are complementary. Like they tie into each other in a lot of ways, and I like that a lot. There's the strategicness of building the team, and then everyone's just every character is so different too. It's great. It's not like the they've just like there's some guns you can get, and then everybody has like some special moves. You know, everyone's like abilities, their weapon set, totally different. Some are long range, some are close range. You know, some are like healing classes, some are tanks, but they're all beautiful. Like really, like you guys have some of the coolest character designs I've seen in a while. I really dig them a lot.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure
It was definitely a thing we cared a lot about, you know, right from the start of the project. We said, like, we don't want there to be kind of a main character and then a backup cast, or, you know, people are just changing weapons or whatever. We want every character to feel like they could be the protagonist of their own game, you know?
Nice. Let's see. Also, if you
So
like,
did you guys have favorites already since from last time?
I think Nidhogger
Yes, I do.
is a fan favorite. I know that. Yeah. Why don't you talk about your favorite a little bit?
I absolutely love the snake dude. He's my easy fave.
I
Okay.
think I am a Nidhogger, man. But if I have to play tank, I could be El Bastardo.
Yeah, it's up to you, man. I'll just fill the last spot. I'm happy to play whichever.
Yeah, I'll go with Nidhogger this round. Then we'll
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I played some shows with Nidhogger.
Ride the Lightning's just such a cool super.
All right, I'll play Bastardo.
Man, I like cats a
So
lot.
when did you make the decision to put hoverboards in your game? And thank you for that.
Man, we've had that actually for ages, haven't we, G? At the beginning, we had horses. Like way back, like the very we got like a really low poly, you know, super crap horse. I think Gerald downloaded it as just a little tester. We were like, yeah, that's a cool idea. But obviously horses don't make sense in this world, so
Yeah, right.
we need
Out of range.
But we knew we wanted mounting, I think was the point. We wanted the characters to have like a fast movement state out of combat.
Yeah, they're gonna get me here.
Well, you know, hoverboards are definitely the key to my heart.
Until we get wife.
Yeah, it's not wife. It's okay. Wait for me. I'm right behind you.
We'll
Johnny
we'll
Oldman,
respond.
Johnny Oldman, you're the healer. Why are you running out?
I think we're waiting for one more.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm You're playing. Here we go. We're good.
So one of the keys to the game, if you can sort of try and focus the same target, that generally goes a lot better. So they've got Collabs as the healer as well, but I'm kind of being focused.
Yeah, I usually. Do you think it's a better strategy to take the healer out first, or like is there?
It kind of depends. I think if like everything being equal, it is a good idea to go for the healer first. But sometimes the healer's really sneaky and you know they keep running away. So in that case, you can sort of just turn all your damage onto one target to take them out while the healer's retreating.
Adversity is a good teacher.
If you happen to have an anti-healing mod as well on Buttercup or on Maeve, then sometimes it's better to focus on maybe like their most potent damage class and then try and take that out first.
Yeah, so they've got both points. So maybe we should just go grab B and just hold it for a little bit. Because right now we have 0 points, so we want to get on the board.
This is correct. We are correct right now.
I must get closer.
I think they're all here, aren't they?
Oh no!
I think.
What did they? Oh, they made put me to sleep.
Oh my gosh.
My thanks are profuse.
Yeah, they're focusing pretty hard.
Oh man, they took me out pretty easily. Like you know, I feel like it's the beginning of a movie where like we're a ragtag bunch of recruits all put together. We were all like kind of misfits. and now we
Yeah,
gotta
but
learn
I
how
wonder
to work
whether
together.
let's see whether
we
it's gonna
need
be a
some sort of
happy
training
ending.
montage then in that case.
We do need a
Sitting there shaking his head in disapproval.
Yeah, this is our training montage. Trial by fire.
Cass is definitely tough in that regard because she's so squishy.
Yeah, I like her. I like that she's kind of a ninja too, though.
Yeah.
Objectives activated.
So, I ran into trouble. I shouldn't have run off on
I'm
my
just
own.
gonna quickly go grab point A.
This is dance with death.
Oh, my blade dance did nothing.
Oh,
Oh, it's a panic super.
we're on the. Oh, I think we've almost killed someone.
Get our first. We got 8 points. Hey, it's not a lockout, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sit here and wait for everyone to die and come back.
Hey Blake, we're gonna get a little bit of comment about the game audio being a little bit loud.
Oh, game audio's a little loud. No problem. I can fix that. I'm really good at fixing that. Sorry, I lowered it, but then I had to like delete it and I forgot to turn it down. But there, it should be good now.
All right,
So-
let us know if that's better, guys. So I think one thing I really want to talk about while we have you guys here is I noticed this when we were playing it before, and also like playing it some on my own. The balancing is actually like you guys have done a really good job balancing things. Like you have characters that are obviously melee characters, characters that are more long range, and I know that like this is something that a lot of multiplayer games struggle with is like making all the characters viable. But you guys have done a really good job with that. Like, can you guys talk like a little bit about some of the challenges that you maybe faced with that?
Yeah, I mean, one of the toughest things and one of the things that we spent a lot of time on right at the beginning when we first decided to make this game is trying to figure out how to balance the melee fighters who had kind of recoiling hit reactions associated with them and the rangers. And there was like a lot of back and forth with, you know, can you evade and how often can you evade and how do you break out of that damage, and then how much range does a ranger need to have, you know, a good distance advantage but not be so far away that you can never close the gap. And a lot of it just came through kind of focus testing the game, playing it ourselves. Like, we play the game every day. The people on the team were the QA team for the longest time, because we only had a handful of devs on the project. So we were playing the game every day, and it was just something that we kind of tuned for feel over time. And that turned into, you know, range characters having the particular distance that they do from the melee characters with the range of their weapons, and the range characters only having 2 evades instead of 3 because they've generally got a range advantage and that type of thing.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's definitely something I noticed. I've played as Damon a lot when I've played. Like, he's probably my favorite character to play as, and I noticed that despite my own failures with the character, it never feels like the game's fault when I die. Like trying to take out a ranged character, like I always have enough room to work with to get close enough. I make a wrong move, you know, on my own.
Yeah, especially with Demon, he's quite handy for taking out ranges because you can kind of close that gap under stealth, right? So I guess that's one of his big advantages is he doesn't need to close that gap while he's getting shot at. He can hit stealth and then kind of sneak in and jump out on top of somebody.
Dance with death.
Yeah, exactly. It reminds me of a lot of, honestly, it reminds me a lot of playing as the spy in Team Fortress 2.
Yeah,
which,
cool.
Which I spent a lot of time with, so it's definitely like, it's a really good mechanic that I appreciate a lot.
You know what, guys? Okay, so we lost 115
Warm up.
to 600 there.
That was
But
a
yeah,
warm-up.
yeah,
Warm up round.
that was we gave him that one. We didn't, you know, we didn't.
Just a flesh wound.
Yeah. Oh man, let's see. Let's see if I leave the game, does it bring us all back out into the lobby? Find a new one? Or should we keep
just all do
going?
it.
Alright.
Yeah, we can all exit and then just try and.
Should
I was
keep
a
us
little
in a
rusty
party.
there.
It's alright. It's okay, Asif. I still love you. For now.
Too much Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Surgeon MD asks, how does communication work with pugs? Do you guys have a large array of voice shortcuts or a ping system?
Well, we have obviously you have team voice chat that you join by default on Xbox, I believe, and then you can. I think push to talk is on by default on PC. So definitely we encourage voice chat. That's by far the best way. But yeah, there's also a ping system in the game that you can use to kind of, if you don't want to use voice chat or whatever, then you can use that, and the characters will kind of do VO to give those ping shout outs and stuff as well.
Let's see. Here's what I'm curious about the world. Like, when did you decide we're gonna make like a 4v4 combat game, and then you built the world around it, or did like the world come first? You know what? Like, yeah. Where did you guys start when you're going to the drawing board?
I mean, the very first thing we started with was we wanted to make a game that was competitive online multiplayer mixed with third-person action combat, right? So that was kind of the nugget of the idea that started off. We didn't know at that time where it was set or how many players there were going to be per team or what the characters would do. We didn't know anything else. We started with just that, and then we basically worked the rest out through the development of the project. But man, we tried all sorts of stuff, didn't we, G? Like, we tried 3v3 and 6v6. Maybe we tried 8v8 one time.
Yeah, I think we've tried everything from 2v2 up to about maybe 6 or 7v7.
Yeah, but 4 just felt good. I mean, that's the thing. It just came down to playing it and feeling like, okay, 3 was pretty cool, but the thing I didn't like about 3v3 was that the team composition tended to be always the same. It was tank, healer, damage. And having a 4th character there makes it a little bit more interesting in terms of the team composition, because you have to pick which role you're going to put that extra class into. And when we tried 5, it felt a little bit too kind of busy and overwhelming in the team fights. Like, there was so much going on that we were seeing players kind of just resorting to button mashing because they couldn't make kind of smart decisions with the amount of chaos on the screen. So 4v4 kind of struck a nice balance. And then the setting came kind of after that. So we white boxed everything, just like in grey box with no art at all. And then we started thinking about, well, where should it be set? And it's mostly just based on, you know, our own passions and things that we like. And I love sci-fi. So we definitely wanted to go in that direction rather than kind of like fantasy or something else.
Nice.
Kind of on the question of multiplayer games, because this is a departure. Like, a lot of companies would just make a shooter, right?
Yeah.
To make a game built around melee combat, what other games did you look to maybe for like inspiration or just even ideas? Like, for a game that comes to mind for me, even though it's not necessarily melee, is Splatoon, because it's not necessarily a shooter. Like, did you look to games like that for inspiration on how to design this as well, or?
I think the main ones we looked at were, obviously we looked at all of the kind of competitive online games that we play ourselves for that side of stuff. So we looked at, like Left 4 Dead and Team Fortress and Overwatch by the time that came out, and all of the MOBAs. You know, both me and Gerald play quite a lot of online games. So for the kind of multiplayer class-based side of stuff, we looked to a whole bunch of inspirations. And then for the melee fighting specifically, actually I looked a fair bit at like fighting games, like Street Fighter especially. We checked out Anarchy Reigns.
Oh, yeah.
When that came out.
I know that game. I'm one of the few people that played it, I think.
We played it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Platinum games.
Yeah, same. That game, I mean, the game is super cool. The thing that I really wanted, and one of the reasons why we went on to make this game and why it's so team-based, is because I really like playing in a team. And that was a thing that I really wanted to have that I didn't quite get from Anarchy Reigns. Because there was no, like, support characters or...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. It was just like... just a brawler, really interesting brawler. You know, the way they set up a lot of their levels and missions. But yeah, it was just like you're just going at it on your own, basically.
Yeah, it was definitely cool, but that's a thing that we wanted to make sure that we had in Bleeding Edge. We really wanted it to be team focused. So, you know, each fighter is kind of a little piece of the pie, and you need everyone to work together to kind of make a whole.
Yeah, I'm like racing. I'm racing here to try and save my crew, and I failed. Now I'm gonna die.
Alright, we got a couple of questions from the community here. Dreamers180 says, will the upcoming skins be something we spend coins on, or are they something that will unlock automatically?
I'm not sure how much we're saying about the skins at the moment. You'll definitely be able to buy them with in-game currency. And it'll be the credits that you earn in-game.
There you go, Dreamers. I hope that answers your question. We also had a question from, I'm probably butchering this name, but Deving Out the Box asks, is there a bomb mode coming, a ranked or one life round based mode, anything like that?
Okay, so ranked mode's definitely something that is on our radar.
All just camping our spawn right now. It's crazy. Sorry.
So yeah, like it's massively high on our priority list, and something that we're going to be looking into in the near future.
Right behind you guys.
In terms of more game modes, again, that's something that we're always looking at. So Gerald is like obviously the senior designer on the project, and he's actually designed all of the maps and game modes currently in the game. So one of his main focuses right now is looking into more game modes and more map designs and stuff like that. So definitely things that are on the radar, but nothing in like kind of the imminent future, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Wow, my controller disconnected. Oh no.
That's not good.
Batteries are
We
dying.
also had a question from Brittany. She's one of our staff members. She wants to talk about, she says, what were some of the difficulties that went into balancing each character? I mean, we kind of already talked about that, Brittany. Basically, Ronnie said pretty much the team was the Q&A for the group, like when they first started out. And so they kind of just played around with things until it all felt comfortable, like making sure that ranged characters and melee characters had plenty of room to work with each other and balancing out the dodges and things. I can get you more information about that if you still need more information about that.
In terms of the actual kind of, you know, the damage and the timings of all the characters and the, you know, the mod balance and all that type of stuff, that's also a combination of that's also a combination of kind of big spreadsheets of data and a lot of kind of theory crafting, and then combining that with hard kind of analytics that we get from both our internal playtests and now also from the games that you guys are all playing. So yeah, there's a lot of different stuff that kind of feeds into that.
Spreadsheets, the way of life right there.
Spreadsheets, man.
Man, when is I'm getting my butt kicked with Buttercup here. I need, you know, I did great with Meko though during my hands-on with Meko. Is Meko still coming to the game?
Oh yeah, definitely. He's coming tomorrow.
Wow, man!
Oh, there you go.
I would look way more
There you go.
impressive if this stream was tomorrow. Should have waited a day.
I was just thinking then for a second, wait, have we said that yet? No, we have. Yeah, he's going out tomorrow.
Oh my
Pretty
goodness!
sure we wrote about it.
We probably did.
Pretty sure
I've been
about that.
a busy man this week. Let me tell you.
What day is it?
It's Wednesday, I think. What day is it?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
Okay, my dudes.
Yeah, I can't wait to see people playing with Meko. It's gonna be.
Yeah. Oh.
He's super fun.
I love Meko. I probably spent more time with Meko when I got to do a hands-on than anybody else. Okay. All right. I get it. You guys are tough. Yeesh. All right. I'm running away. Coward.
This game's available on Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
And right now you have a lot of folks that are stuck at home and are trying out games for the first time. You guys kind of speak to like how Game Pass has maybe helped gain visibility in this time, like because it seems like I'm always stunned by how many games I can play on Game Pass as a service, and like I didn't buy this game, but I can still play it. I'm curious from your perspective how you folks feel about that.
I mean, I think it's awesome. I like it, as a gamer, being able to have access to all those. Like, it's a great service, but also, yeah, as a developer, it's awesome. Like, there's a whole massive amount of people that get to see and play Bleeding Edge that maybe it wouldn't have been on their radar otherwise, and that's kind of cool. Getting to be able to speak to a whole bunch of new gamers that we may not have been able to. It also informed like a few of the decisions that we made about what we spent time on during the technical alpha. Because once we knew that we were going to be coming to Game Pass, we knew that there was going to be players jumping in the game that perhaps weren't as familiar with the genre as you might expect if you were to buy the game, because you're only going to buy a game like this if you're into kind of multiplayer games or competitive games, and then you're familiar with a lot of the stuff that the genre has to offer. So we spent a fair bit of time in technical alpha, trying to make sure that the game was kind of understandable and accessible to people who maybe hadn't played this type of game before. Maybe they're not used to class-based games or team games. Maybe they didn't know what objective control was all about. So we wanted to make sure that all that stuff was kind of clarified for new players.
Gotta get better kill-death ratios up in here. G-Factors can't carry us like this.
Yeah.
I think we did slightly better. We got a few more kills that game.
We did better. I got a couple kills there. I'm improving, but slowly.
Man, let's see. And what's interesting is like there's no villains in this game, right? Like every character is like a friend, right? Like they're all buddies.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're definitely all different shades of grey. Like they're each of them has their own story and reason for being there. But yeah, at the end of the day, they all kind of have this thing in common, which is their augments and the fact that they're kind of on the edges of society, and that's the thing that brings them together. So they're all mates at the end of the day.
Nice. That's beautiful. So just remember that, we don't have to feel too bad about losing because we're all friends here.
That's kind of the point of multiplayer games, Blake. Like we just play. Like I think, especially during this lockdown, like it's been really great hanging out with friends in video games, and I think multiplayer games online multiplayer games give us that platform to do that. So I think I'm sure I can't imagine it's hurting Bleeding Edge, as a platform or as a game, that people are stuck at home right now. But it's also just, I think from that Game Pass perspective, being able to look at your game as more than just a packaged good that's going to be on a shelf somewhere. I think it really kind of changes that. It's not that it changes the business model for studios or anything, but it definitely is it's a different focus when you're making a game, right?
Aww. Somebody already took Nidhogg.
Do you want Nidhogg?
It's okay. I got Gizmo.
Sorry. I just love Nidhogg so much.
A couple of additional questions from the community here. Deving Out the Box asks, will you be adding a stay as team-like feature for when you queue with new people?
We're actually working on already a carry on to next game where it's kind of a passive thing, so you don't need to press stay as team or anything, but if you just stick in the game, if you stick in the end game screen, both teams will carry on for like a rematch. So that's something that we're already kind of looking at. I would like to add a stay as a team as well, where you can kind of go, I liked playing with these guys, so even if the enemy team drops out, we want to stick together. So that's a cool idea, definitely something to think about.
We got these hoverboards. And I was curious, have you thought about, or did you think about maybe adding, tricks or like or hoverboard races or anything like that?
We've definitely talked about it. We've talked about quite a few different things that we'd like to do with hoverboards,
Why am I getting beat up so much?
including ideas like having tricks or potentially grind rails and all sorts of stuff. At this point, it's just a matter of kind of trying to prioritize all these different ideas that we have.
Yeah, I think tricks is definitely something that I think would, I don't know, it's something I can see a lot of the characters taking part in as they move around the map. So I'd be interested to see how you guys incorporated that into the game. Absolutely.
Got a kill.
Yeah, I've gotten a few kills this match too. Huzzah!
We're doing well.
Thank you for the heals.
Let's see. We have Hi, my name is not Joby asking, will there be a response to a quote-unquote meta? How often are there updates, or would you guys rather leave it to the community to develop on its own?
Going this way.
Um,
Up there.
so I think it's something that we're definitely going to have to kind of work
Coming
out
up
as we
right
go.
here.
I think I'm kind of wary of jumping in and making changes too quickly when, say, a new character comes out and they feel OP or they feel strong, but maybe it's just because the community hasn't developed a response to that character yet or to a particular strategy. So I think we have to be careful not to be like knee-jerk about balancing down things or up things that people or teams or players have newly discovered. But at the same time, we wouldn't want to leave something in the game that's kind of obviously too strong or that's an exploit. Because we want the game to be, at the end of the day, we want the game to feel competitive and fair and fun. So I think it's going to be about kind of just listening to what you guys are saying. We read all of your feedback in forum posts and on Discord and that kind of thing. Looking at the analytics, we have tons of analytics from all the game events, so we can kind of see what the characters' win rates are and where their damage might be too high or too low, what the pick rates are for different characters and mods and all the stuff like that. So we'll be using a combination of, what the community's telling us and what the analytics are telling us to try and make decisions about how to balance the meta.
Yeah, I think it's important. It's something that we see happen a lot with multiplayer games, kind of going back to the balancing talk earlier, is that when new characters drop, the community is very quick to point out when something feels overpowered. And a lot of developers, I feel, kind of fall into the hole where they rush to make changes to things before they really have a chance to do a lot of research or looking into it. And I think it just usually ends up making the balancing period even longer than it needed to be. So I think it's definitely a good idea that you guys are kind of taking things slowly and, waiting to make sure that something's actually a problem before you try to fix it,
It's funny, actually, because it's something that we found even just developing the game ourselves and playing the game. Gerald and I could maybe not touch the balance of the fighters at all for, several months. But over that time, we would see, even just in the office, like a kind of shift in meta. Even though we haven't changed anything, as people are developing a new strategy
Awesome.
and developing an answer to that strategy, and characters would come in and out of favor over the course of 3-6 months, whatever, based on no changes that we've made, but just on people learning the game and becoming more familiar with the different moves the characters do and how to counter them and team compositions and synergies and stuff like that. So yeah, it's quite interesting.
Doing good.
Yeah, doing a lot better this time.
Actually winning a game.
Another really good question for the community. Dreamers180 says, Sea of Thieves is still going strong after 2 years of constant updates. How do you guys see Bleeding Edge evolving long term in terms of content?
Sea of Thieves is doing awesome. I'm super happy for those guys, and the game's great. And I think the way that they support the game is really awesome as well. And, definitely one of the cool things about being in the kind of Microsoft family now is that we get to talk to other studios, and we've chatted to the guys at Rare about how they've been running Sea of Thieves and how they found stuff goes for them and what works well and what doesn't work. But I guess for Bleeding Edge specifically, what we're focusing on right now is, especially since the game is still fairly fresh out, is making sure we're on top of all of the issues that players are having, and we're squashing all the bugs that players are getting, and making sure that the game's playing well and they can get into the game and it's stable and it's robust. And that's been a big part of our focus. And once we kind of feel like the game's working as it should and as we want it to, and we've fixed all of those main issues that people are having, then we'll turn our eye more towards new content and new features and stuff like that. So like I said, we've got Meko coming out tomorrow. We've got plenty of new stuff in the works, and we have a massive backlog of features and fighters and maps and stuff like that we'd like to add to the game. And we're basically looking to the community to see what they're asking for and what they would prefer to see in the game, and then we sort of shift them up and down the priority list accordingly.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. I think that's it's really cool also seeing you guys have the content like passed over with Sea of Thieves, right? Like there's the flag, assuming that wasn't actually an April Fool's joke, because I think the tweet was actually released on April Fool's. But I mean, there's also always that opportunity as well, especially like you said, being in the Microsoft family, like you guys are able to talk together and things like that. And I think that's really cool, seeing that kind of collaboration between different developers, like especially even though the games are so vastly different, obviously, like Bleeding Edge is definitely a very different experience than something like Sea of Thieves. So obviously the plans to extend content and things like that is going to be a lot different than it would be for a game like Sea of Thieves. Deving out the box asked, free Series X upgrade?
I don't think we have anything to share on Series X at this point, sorry.
Yeah.
Series X is still a long way out, so I mean, there's still plenty of time for that.
Look at that, guys.
Wow. That was redemption game.
Hey, look at that. 9-0. What did I say about my kill death? And what did Blake do? 16-0. 12-0. 13-1. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh man, yeah, I've got to look at my stats for that one.
Hey, dude, pull up your kill death.
Holy cow!
We only died once.
Whoa.
Our team only died once that game. That's awesome.
Okay, I think we found our.
We're going pro. Bleeding Edge Esports. Let's go.
I think we found our magic combination.
Yeah.
I'm curious, have you guys revealed any characters that are going to be coming up after Meko or anything like that?
No, not yet. Not yet. No.
Okay. All right. I'm still pushing to get myself in this game somehow. I'm ready. I've got a robot samurai costume already. I think I'm ready to do it. I think cartoon violence would be a great addition to Bleeding Edge.
Oh, that's your band, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember now. Yeah, I remember talking about that.
It's a Blake to push cartoon violence.
Yeah. Every chance I get. Well, only when it's appropriate, I don't know. We just mentioned Sea of Thieves. I don't think.
I had mentioned before the stream because I was sitting in the game's menu. I love the soundtrack in this game. It's excellent.
Uh-huh. I love the background.
Awesome, cheers.
I love the background art. Like, it always reminds me of like dystopian animes like Akira or Evangelion and things like that. Like, the world looks really lived in. And I really like that. Even though this game isn't really focused on story, it's more about the combat. Like, I appreciate that you guys took the time to build a world around the game.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of inspiration come from anime and graphic novels and stuff, definitely. But yeah, like, it was always important to me that there's a rich kind of backstory behind these characters, and it's part of what we do anyway to make sure that they feel consistent and that everything's working together, right? So we will build up like a little profile for each fighter, and then we share that between kind of the animator and the audio guys and the effects artists and the character artists and concept and whatever, and that kind of helps bring everything together.
Nice. I'm just shamelessly plugging.
Shameless plug. Don't buy his music today. Wait till Friday.
Yeah, wait till
'cause
Friday.
Bandcamp is waiving their fee on Friday for artists.
There we go.
Let's see. Who's Forgotten asks, will we get a roadmap and clear plan on how this game moves forward? Is that anything you guys have like plans to do, like release a public roadmap or anything like that? Or is that something you plan to keep eternal for the time being?
For the time being, I think we're planning to keep it internal. Stuff's just shifting so fast right now, so we're we're just reacting so quickly to what the community's asking for. So we're keeping that eternal for now.
Yeah, I just want to ask, just because, I don't know, from the shared perspective of trying to plan projects in uncertain times, how often, I saw this quote from Bandai Namco, they're like, we're planning on maybe doing something live this year. And I'm curious, from, pivoting to a work from home environment and all that, like, how often are you folks having to have meetings about just the timing of things? And is, like, has it affected you? Not confirming any kind of delay or anything, because clearly you have a character shipping tomorrow, but like, going forward, how has that really changed how you're looking at trying to execute what your plans were before the pandemic hit?
I think in terms of our internal team, it hasn't affected us too much. Like, we're still pretty productive. We have meetings every day over Teams and catch up constantly. So everyone's kind of aware of what's going on. I think that the trickiest thing is anything to do with anything external to us has the potential to have a delay, right? So like, if we need to outsource some voice acting, for example, like, then we need to find out, are those guys still working, and how is their strategy? Like, are they able to get stuff happening from home? So it's about trying to like kind of negotiate all of the other stuff that's kind of around what we're doing.
Got it. Yeah, that's makes a lot of sense. What's going on here? Should we back out and search again?
Yeah, let me see.
Sorry, my dog's barking at me.
Oh, Lola, what does she need now?
I'm guessing.
Maybe that was just too epic a win.
Jesus,
Everyone's
it
scared.
was.
We scared everyone away. Like, they can't find, like, the computer's trying to find somebody that's, close to our equal, but we're just so high above everybody. It's just being too good. It's our fault. Really.
I was in for a breakout game, though. For that warm-up game, trash. Second game, eh.
Yeah.
Third game, we were on fire.
We had to find the right combination. I think it was just the right people playing the right characters.
Sure. Our healer saved the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's my go-to character after a couple losses, generally.
Who did you play, G?
I played Zero Cool.
Ah, nice.
Man.
I like their vehicle. I feel like, I don't know, they look... Every character looks so cool in this.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Huzzah!
All right.
Yeah, the character design is one of my favorite things.
You
So we had a question earlier, says the Sea of Thieves crossover board was awesome. Could we see more skin/board collabs with other Microsoft franchises?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, nothing in the plans right now, and nothing to share, but it's definitely not something we'd rule out. I mean, what the Rare guys did with the Sea of Thieves stuff's super cool.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's always cool to see all the crossover stuff.
And
Yeah, that's actually my default board on all the heroes. I really like it.
and do you guys have a personal favorite character by any chance? Like,
It's so hard.
It changes all the time. I think I believe during the interview I said Gizmo and Demon, but like throughout since launch, it's changed like every couple of days.
I really like to play
right.
Kulev. He's one of my favorites to play.
I really like Maeve. I've been playing a lot of Maeve lately.
Yeah.
Would you care to join me, madam?
Maeve's an interesting character. She seems like for a game full of unique characters, it's almost yeah. She seems like something really different. I don't know. I like Cass a lot. I'm trying to get good with Cass personally. But,
Cass is especially awesome if she's got like a pocket heal.
Yeah. If you have a good zero cool just following you around, she does so much damage. It's pretty insane.
She's pretty pronounced. She kind of reminds me of Annie Lennox a little bit in her look. They have similar haircuts.
Way too far.
At least like yeah, were there were there
Coming after you, Factor. Okay.
Collection phase complete.
Pedal to the metal.
Seen a lot of talk in the chat, people talking about challenges. Do you guys have any plans to add any kind of like weekly challenges, daily challenges, more ways to earn credits, anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. Again, something that we're talking about and we've got on our massive list of things that we would like to do. But again, no immediate imminent plans. I think the next thing that we're kind of looking at adding is going to be skins. So the next patch after Meko is going to focus on skins.
Let's get some drops in.
Going to see, they're behind you.
Oh no.
Behind you.
So I think an interesting aspect of multiplayer games that gets talked about a lot and gets kind of
Yeah, I fell asleep.
talked down on a lot is loot boxes. Now, obviously, like everything that's in the game so far right now, you can earn through in-game credits pretty much. But there is a lot of talk in the chat about loot boxes. So what did you guys have any challenges in making the decision whether to go with things that you can just purchase outright, or did you guys ever have any plans for loot boxes of any kind?
No, we didn't. I mean, the thing that we definitely always knew is that we didn't want to sell anything that could affect game balance. So stuff like heroes, maps, the mods. We definitely wanted to make sure that all those were purely earnable in-game. And then we had always planned to sell the game rather than for it to be free to play. So there was kind of, yeah, we were happy just to do that and to make all of the collectibles kind of earnable in game.
Look at us beating up on people.
Yeah, you guys have turned it around now.
Yeah. What do you mean killing machines? We haven't really gone for any of the power cores.
It was like
I'm all about the power cores.
Way too far.
Love me
was
some
until I died.
Firepower to the max.
Give me them tasty power cores.
I got some power cores.
Hand-in points
I'm ready to drop
activated
them.
in 10 seconds.
I'm right here with you.
Nice. Oh my goodness gracious.
Do you guys have any kind of plans to add mouse and keyboard support to the console version of the game on Xbox?
That's just rude of it. That rocket.
Ah.
What was the question again,
To
Joe?
be honest, it's not something I've massively thought about. Is that kind of because you prefer to play with mouse and keyboard, or do you want the keyboard for chat specifically?
Seems
I
like
mean,
there's some people that just want to play with keyboard and mouse on Xbox.
yeah, I think it's just something that people on Xbox want to be able to play with mouse and keyboard. It's just something that seeing talked about in the chat here, so I figured we'd pose it to you guys.
Fair suck of the sap.
It's not something we've massively thought about, to be honest, but I don't see why we couldn't. Can have a think about that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an interesting option to have in place today, especially in a world where crossplay is such a big thing, right? So, because I mean, like right here, right now on this stream, we've got Blake's playing on his Xbox while some of the other guys play on their PCs. So it's definitely an interesting thing to have to think about, I think, from a development standpoint, where when you look at, a couple of years ago, you didn't really have to worry too much about crossplay because it wasn't as widespread of a thing.
That was a hard
But
fight.
I am on the
I
PC.
certainly, if I'm playing a shooter, I'm terrible at shooting anything on a console, so I would need a mouse and keyboard for that. But I don't know. I guess because we always internally we play on a gamepad, even if we're playing on PC.
Him.
So I guess it just never occurred to us that people might want to go the other way. I definitely don't think there's an advantage playing on one control mechanism versus the other.
Where'd they go, Arthur?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. In our time with the game, it seemed like Blake had pretty much the same, options as we did. So
Yeah.
not really something I worried about.
Yeah, I didn't have any problem.
I'm on PC playing with a gamepad for that very reason, just because I think the gameplay is kind of built for it.
Yeah, it kind of is. Like, it's a third-person kind of combat game at the end of the day. So, I personally prefer gamepad.
Alright. Walking around in a circle. Huh? Thought that was clever. Oh my goodness.
Should try and go point C because I think they're gonna try and hand in 12C ourselves.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. That's gonna ruin our 2-point lead.
Hand-in points activated.
Especially when I go the wrong way.
Oh no, where's everybody else?
I'm almost
Oh,
there.
Johnny, old man.
Don't let him crush your spirit. Or kill you. Or anything bad.
Help!
Nice. You
Coming
guys.
after you.
Oh man, my controller, my batteries are really dying on me here. I feel. Well, there we go. There's a. That's
Nice
more
one-up.
my.
Was that you, G Factor, with the
Yeah,
one?
that was me. Yeah,
That was good, man.
I'm so close to dying.
Oh, jeez.
Can you guys hold him off?
Yeah, I see
No,
it.
no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh-oh, I got killed.
Let's see. We had a question from Derpy Panda. It says, I like the quitter's penalty system that Bleeding Edge has in place. Is it possible to have some sort of commendation system for players to endorse each other for GGs? Maybe after a while it stacks, giving a bonus to unit gain, kind of like a system that rewards good players.
Yeah, that's cool. I like
Power
that.
cells spawn.
That's a good idea. Definitely, we like to encourage players to be friendly. I mean, it's one of the reasons why all of the fighters are kind of, in the backstory. They're all mates at the end of the day.
It's a bit far.
Yeah, there's enough negativity in the world without us helping to spur it on anymore, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Collection phase complete.
Let's get them cells.
That's good to know, like, that all these characters could be at, like, a bar after the game, like, just hanging out.
Just like the cops on Law and Order are all
Hand-in
best
points
friends.
activating in 10 seconds.
Oh no!
got hit
Blown up by
by
rockets.
Need to get closer.
I got exploded.
Vortex incoming.
So I guess since we have been talking about skins a little bit, can we talk about the mod system for a moment? I think it's a very cool system.
Oh, no.
Like it adds a lot of depth to the characters.
I got deaded.
Yep.
They got my 4 power cells. Sorry, guys.
This might be game over.
Uh-oh.
I don't think I can stop him in time. Yes, I can. Yes, I did.
Oh, you're a hero.
Nice, G.
But I don't know if I can survive this.
I'm coming through. If I can get there with my giant robot, I'm gonna.
Oh.
Are you at AG?
Yeah. I'm trying to stop Demon from handing in.
Jeez.
Hey, kitty kitty. Step it up.
I can see Demon running after me. He's invisible, but I can see.
You see his shiver.
Yeah. Ah. I was just late. I was so close.
Man. Well, we put up a hell of a fight.
We've delayed them, though. We survived to the next round.
That's right. It might be the only delaying the inevitable, but at least we're still in it. At least we're trying.
Way too far.
We had a question earlier, and I actually missed it. But Dreamers 180 asked a similar question. The short character trailers over the last week have been great. Are there any plans for longer form videos or comics to help flesh out the world more?
No plans right now, but it's definitely something that I would love to do. Like I said, the characters all have fully fleshed backstories, and there's lots of story to tell. So yeah, I would love to do more, but again, just a matter of kind of trying to prioritize based on the competitive game and the stuff like skins, ranked mode, and the stuff that you guys are asking for at the moment.
It makes sense. Focus on what the community wants in the game, and then you can flesh out the world outside of the game from there.
Are there any fun facts you could share about any of the characters, though? Any little character quirks or things that they're into, hobbies? Do they
Well,
long walks
actually,
on the beach?
the fighters have started chatting a little bit more in the jibber jabber as of today. So that's one of the kind of methods that we're starting to use to give you guys a little bit more of an insight into kind of the relationships these guys have with each other, and little tidbits about their backstories and stuff like that.
Nice. Oh man, that was a close one. I'm saying, I think that was a close one. Overall.
Yeah, that was a tough game. It was close.
We're really coming together here, guys. But we're coming up on the end of the hour. I don't want to take up any more of your time because you guys were generous enough to come on today.
Anybody want to swap a player, or are we good?
I think we're actually we're supposed to wrap up here, but if you guys want to keep going, we can keep going. It's really up to our guests to decide. But we
Dog's very
yeah.
We can do one more. Can you do one more, G?
Yeah, I can play one more.
All right, let's do one more,
Do one more
and
game.
then we'll let you guys get back to enjoying your evenings.
Alright, cool. Sounds good.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! And I'm just curious. What's it been like for you guys since Bleeding Edge has launched? What's the, seeing the response, seeing the fandom, seeing people get into it. What's that been like for you guys?
It's so awesome. It's so awesome getting to watch people play the game and have fun and discover all of the characters and the moves and different strategies and whatever. We're definitely tired because there's lots to do, but yeah, it's super fulfilling and rewarding.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be cool because a lot of times you work on a game, you put it out, and maybe there's like a few patches, and that's it. But like, it's got to be kind of cool that like now this is like your ongoing thing. Like you get to spend more time like doing what you want to do and making changes to the game like where it's necessary along the way. That's definitely got to be like a different experience than just getting stuff out the door and moving
Yeah,
on to the next
definitely.
thing.
And the team's tiny, but everybody's so passionate about the game, so we're all fully into it and checking it out every day and trying our best to make new stuff and support everything that the community's asking for.
Awesome.
I think it's like super important to remind viewers and people that Ninja Theory's also the studio behind Hellblade, right? And that's one of the few things we have seen in this Series X coming up. Have you guys looked at maybe the other team over there and said, "Hey, we maybe get Senua in here, or what a level?"
Oh my god, that'd be the craziest mashup ever.
Some sort of satanic trip level. I don't know, but I think it's really interesting that these two games exist at the same studio, right? And I'm sure you look at each other's work positively.
Absolutely. I mean, most of us work together anyway, right? Like a lot of the guys that are working on Hellblade I worked with on DMC.
Okay.
So yeah, we're all everybody knows everybody, and a lot of us have worked together for a long time. Like I think I've been there over 10 years now. Aaron, the art director, has been there maybe 13. So there's quite a few people that have been there a long time.
Objectives control.
I really like the approach of making AAA games that aren't gonna like burn a hole in your pocket, money wise as well. I think that's a very unique approach to development, and also just like in general, no one really ever says or does anything like that. So it seems to be working out brilliantly so far, though. I mean,
I like this level.
The little trains.
Trains, yes, I'm a fan of. Put more trains on the level, I'm gonna like it.
I like the little honk honk they make when they.
Yeah, there's little details that I love.
I just got beat the crap out of by El Desperado. Oh my god. Oh,
Yeah, we got that one.
Whew, I survived
Get
somehow.
off that person. Get off that person. Leave them alone. And now they're coming after me.
And it's tied. Oh, nope, they've got a slight advantage.
They've got one more kill than us, I think.
Oh.
Nice little sneaky back cap.
Oops. Let's go.
Going down at A.
Oh. I held out pretty well.
Gonna wait.
So I know we're in the process of kind of wrapping things up here, but I see a really good question from someone in the community, and it's something we've kind of talked about a bit here on the stream. Hi, my name is Not Joby Ass. I know we talked about your favorite characters, but which was your favorite character to design from an art and story perspective?
Cool.
Objectives deactivated.
God, that's tough. Probably. It's probably between
Oh,
Coolin
boy.
and Buttercup for me. Buttercup was the first character that we made, like all the way to complete. So she's kind of special, and also I just think she's awesome.
Objectives activated.
But Kulev's backstory is so kind of twisted and mental. I don't know if I can pick between those two.
You know, it's a common problem when you have two really great characters to choose from. Kind of tough to call one above the other, for sure.
Especially when you make it, it's hard to. They all feel like your babies, you know.
Yeah, it feels like you're betraying one of them if you choose one over the other. Yeah, I definitely get that.
I got
Definitely
the healer. I got
I was so close to healing you.
oh no.
We almost got that.
Alright, you can tell that the rest of us have just totally gotten enthralled with the game now. Oh, you know, 30 to 222. It's still anybody's game, guys. I think we can come back. I think if we focus, we believe in ourselves, and we beat the other team.
Let's rock it.
Objectives deactivated.
Oh man, I did not do well. I feel like
Their El Bastardo's
yeah,
kind of out of his mind right now.
their El Bastardo seems like a pro.
I'm getting wrecked by that dude.
I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go with El Bastardo.
There you go.
I'm gonna be my own bastard. See how they
Two
like
dudes
it.
on their hoverboards.
Just chilling. Now I gotta assume Danny Trejo is some sort of an influence on El Bastardo here with the double barrel machetes.
We have lost objective B. Their fate is our fate.
The recharger.
Oh. I did not do much better.
Champ, I can't tell you, Blake loves
been a
Cass,
tough
so
matchup.
you're in good company here.
What? Somebody's talking about how Cass is awesome?
Yeah, Champ was asking, what do people think about Cass? Personally, she's my favorite character, but I rarely see people play her.
I like Cass. I think it's just, you know,
Back starts here.
when they mark a character as advanced, you know, I think that's no lie. You know, you really gotta understand
Objectives deactivated.
some of the more subtle nuances of the game and how to build a team.
Sure, definitely. It's a lot about team composition, right? Like making sure the characters fit together.
Just being together as a team.
Objectives activated.
Because I feel what happens a lot of times when we're doing worse is like we're just stuttering our deaths, right? Like half the team will die, then the other team will show up and die.
And I've been trying to stick around with PJ and G Factor over there. Keep dying.
Yeah, I think there's Urukul is really good at just staying alive, and if you can't take him out, then the fight just becomes quite tough.
Defensive abilities.
Can't touch this.
There we go. We got a thing.
Time stands still.
I mean, you guys are fighting hard. At least we can say that.
We are trying.
Fighting hard or hardly fighting, huh? Oh my gosh. Oh my
He says as he
sides.
dies.
Right. Oh boy.
I don't know. Sometimes you just run into a team that's. we had a game that looked like this on the other side.
Yeah,
you know?
this is because we kicked. This is because we beat the crap out of that other team. They decided we
This is
were.
the karmic balance of that.
Yeah.
I got hit by a train.
I love it. Are there gonna be more levels with more environmental hazards? At any?
Yeah, we we try and make sure that there's an environmental hazard in every map.
Nice. Because there's nothing hilarious than like kicking a bunch of butt and then watching your whole team get like hit by a train. it's it's brutal, but it's hilarious. Like you just gotta kind of laugh at it.
See ya.
The energy shall be free!
Oh,
wow.
So
we
close.
gave it our best.
Good try, guys.
Boo boy.
You tried.
Oh,
Barely
dear.
missed that. Man.
At least you tried. There
G
wasn't a
Factor.
chance.
G Factor,
Carnage.
you tried to make us look good, and we appreciate
I
that.
tried. But we did okay. I think that was a tough game. That was really good.
How's that?
Good games in general.
Yeah, good game in general.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no, thank you both for coming on today. If people want to find out more about Bleeding Edge, where should they go?
You can head to bleedingedge.com. We have an official Discord as well, so you can jump on there and chat to us. We've got obviously social Twitter at Bleeding Edge NT. Yeah, we check all our channels and we read all your feedback. So for sure, give us a shout. Tell us what you think. Give us your feedback. Give us your thoughts. Tell us what you want to see. We'll do our best.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Ronnie Tucker, creative director, and Gerald Poon, senior designer at Bleeding
Yeah,
Edge.
thank
Thank you
Thanks
both.
for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Cheers. And of course, thank you, Josh Hawkins, TJ Denzer, and Asif Khan for joining the stream today. I'm Blake Morse, reviews editor for Shacknews.com, and we'll be streaming some more stuff for you today. I think you might get to see some SnowRunner here in a little bit from our buddy Chris Gerard, or maybe it'll be something else. I have no idea. That's part of the beauty. That's part of the magic. That's part of the mystery of Shacknews.com. And of course, if you liked our stream, give us a follow. Maybe give us your free Twitch Prime subscription if you got one of those, because we love taking Jeff Bezos' money from him and giving it back to you in the form of excellent content over at Shacknews.com, where you can go and subscribe to Mercury for as little as $1 a month. Even if you don't subscribe to Mercury, you're never going to see any ads other than ads for Mercury, which just feature a very adorable Lola pupper. So go there, follow us.
Barking.
Follow us on
Literally
social.
barking at me right now.
She heard me say her name probably with those adorable ears of hers. Of course, check us out on social media. On Twitter, we're Shacknews. We're over on Facebook, Shacknews. Just have a wonderful day, I guess, would be the last thing I want to say to you guys. So once again, thank you to our guests. Thank you to all my co-hosts today. And thank you, the audience. And stick around. We'll have more live streaming for you in just a bit. Take care, and bye-bye.